Hello. I was just sad and talked to the haters before I made the video. I have a blue Play-Doh for Sandy here. Okay. So I always inspect the Play-Doh and take the lids. The lids are very hard to open, so I always take that off first. That way I don't have to do this while I make the video. And here's the Play-Doh. Very nice. This is almost the same color as this, not quite. It's very nice. Oh, it's good, baby dog. Yes. Nice blue is this. And this has supposed to have blueberry flavor. It smells nice and artificial, but I like it. Yeah, I was just crying and talking to the haters before I made the video. And I really wanted to get the video started earlier, but then I had to get all of that energy of self-pity. I had to first cry that out. So, and I also wanted to talk about some of the stuff in this video here, because I can feel the haters in my dreams. They shape my dreams. They make my dreams really uncomfortable. I had horrible dreams last night, absolutely horrific. Dreams of, like, I would go to places where I don't want to be, which reflects my life also, of course. And activities I don't want to do, like driving on some kind of jet boat over a lake. This is the last thing in the whole entire eternal existence. I mean, like, driving on a jet boat. Seriously? No. I mean, this never even crosses my mind, but in my dreams, these kind of things come up. It's almost like somebody's showing me some kind of, yeah, you're okay, you're all good to go. Okay. Someone is showing me some kind of movie. That's how my dream functions, where I have absolutely no saying over what I see, not only over what I see, but what I'm actually experiencing, and according to the dream, what I'm doing and what I'm doing voluntarily, like where I would be saying, let's do this. let's go on this jet boat ride. Okay. And then we get to some kind of island. And on that island, there are caves and weird buildings. And we get into these caves. Maybe also a little bit has to do with watching a virtual tour of Tutankhamun in Egypt. The underground network of tunnels of the pharaoh kings and queens. And just seeing that, like, it took me a few seconds only of seeing that. I guess someone showed it on Twitter. I'm into science, so I sign up for all of those science type of tweets, but when I see the underground tunnel walks in Egypt of the pharaohs, it takes me like 2-3 seconds before I have to turn that off. So because it presses directly on my lungs when I see that. And I get terrible claustrophobia just seeing this gets me into a real horrific claustrophobic mental state. This is not good. No, that I could never be an archaeologist. I'm not showing you. Could not be an archaeologist. That would never work. Unless I can be in a laboratory working on human artifacts or something, big laboratory. I will not go into one of those archaeological tunnel caves that are like huge, deep, that go deep down underground, where you have to duck way down. My parents did that. They did a tourist walk there. How in the world can they do something like this? No way. I would freak out. I would pass out in there. They would have to bring me out on a stretcher or something. They would have to come with an oxygen tank and revive me. No, that would never work. I have severe claustrophobia. And so that followed me in my dreams, but it wouldn't follow me into my dreams unless I already have claustrophobia from childhood trauma, and obviously there's always trauma that predates a phobia like this. It doesn't come from nowhere. So I think I have trauma from this lifetime, and I think I also have trauma from previous lifetimes as well. So who knows what went on there. So we can carries over, that kind of stuff. So yeah, and I felt the haters in this claustrophobic dreams. I felt the haters. I felt like they were bringing me to a place where I didn't want to be, like into an underground cave or something. And that's why I have absolute paranoia, and I absolutely cannot trust anyone. Okay, no way. I feel like people would cut my brain open, and they would do some kind of inspection on my brain lobes, the Giri and Solki inside of my brain. I feel like they would cut that all open while I'm alive. Well, at some point I lose my vital signs, if they cut my brain all open. Then I would lose my brain vital signs. The brain cells will still be alive, but they will not be functioning cohesively anymore. It will shut down. And then that will shut down my peripheral nervous system. It will shut down my heart also. And then they don't have anyone to bully anymore. But it's exciting. They can cut me open and look into my brain, and maybe Frankenstein, doctor, professor, doctor, what's his name? Hegel or whatever those names are. Goebbels, Himmler, hideous, whatever. Professor Hideous, brain inspector. Okay. Maybe they see something unusual, because how can someone have such compassion, right? This is not normal. This compassion. No, that needs to be inspected. Yeah, some people say those are extraterrestrials that will do that. Well, there are humans that do that too. Okay, and you don't have to be extraterrestrials to be psychopaths. No, no. They can be human. They could be born to a human woman and human man and be total psychopaths, like totally freakishly, and don't have compassion center, and then when they see someone with compassion who would not take any bribe money, they'll go, that person is stupid. I mean, that's just stupid, right? You're stupid for not taking bribe money and making the world horribly suffer. You must be real dumb for not taking the bribe money and making other living beings horrifically suffer. So no, they can't follow that at all. Why would you sign petitions every day? That goes through their head, that question. They must be stupid. That's the only explanation. Why would someone sign petitions for the animals? Spend a lot of time crying over those cruelty cases. Why would anyone do something like this in their right mind, right? Okay, here's why I do that. Because I care. And maybe they don't have that caring in the brain, And yeah, it's irritating. It is irritating the shit out of me. But that they can't follow that, and the way they act. The way they have to harass someone and make someone suffer, even for their own pleasure. Not only for bribe money, they even get the kick out of making someone suffer. And I have no idea why, and Paul will say because they're bad people, but that's not enough for me. That's not enough of an explanation. Right, anyway, I want to make an astronaut out of this, and it's hard to concentrate on the astronaut when I'm talking about those type of things, So let me get the astronaut started first. I have to get it started. It smells good. So I talked to the haters for a little bit before I started the video because I was crying and feeling sad and all of that. And steam that out first. I hope this isn't sliding off now. Sliding off. I gotta lean back a lot. So, this is nice. That's nice. This is very nice. It's a beautiful, beautiful blue is this. Very happy about it. Yeah, my artwork is my lifesaver. Okay. I'm a highly sensitive person, highly empathetic, pathetically empathetic. But it's not pathetic. It's good. But to the hater, that would be pathetic. To be so highly, pathetically empathetic. I'm an empath, and that's who I am. I'm not going to change that. And you wouldn't be able to change that if you abducted me into a cave of Tutankhamun and cut open my brain into slices and changed stuff there. Took my amygdala out, the almond-shaped formation, two of those. Everything, most of that is two. Okay. The corpus callosum is also, I think it is also a two-way type of formation, two brain hemispheres. A lot of stuff is a symmetrical formation of two of the same shapes in the brain. And that has to do with balance forming, that has to do with also with chemistry creation in the brain. We create our own chemicals. We can create our own marijuana, believe it or not. We can create our own hallucinogenic materials, our own LSD, our own psilocybin. Okay, so we can create all of that. The pineal glands and the pituitary gland, they're both active with that. The brain is a factory of chemicals. This one here is making me put out endorphins in the brain, just feeling this, looking at it, touching it. It makes me put out endorphins in my brain. Touching the baby doll, okay. That is bringing out my mother instinct and my oxytocin. That's wonderful. Those are wonderful hormones. I have a lot of estrogen, even though they call me man, tranny, or athletic swimmer. I have whatever they call me, They want to make me feel bad. Yes, they do. They really do. Then sometimes I don't know whether I should laugh about this or cry about it, or both, maybe. No. Or alternatingly. I alternatingly laugh and cry about it. Once in a while some anger comes in as well. And I let it run through my system, So that's what I do. It's getting in shape now. Yes. Smells good. A very toxic, artificial blueberry attempt scent. But I like it. Very shampooy, very like a toilet freshener. Blueberry attempt smell. People, they want to ruin this planet so that then they have to make all of those smells artificial that we could normally have in nature. Right? It'll be so much better. So Paul is gonna order me a rose absolute oil. I'm looking forward to that. I'm grateful to him for that. I need that, a natural, essential rose absolute. I'm planning on making an ivy Hedera helix essential oil with the ivy that grows in this garden and in the other garden as well. In both gardens we have Hedera helix growing, and it grows at cemeteries. My mother doesn't like to see it because she associates cemetery with ivy. I love ivy, absolutely love it. I don't mind if it grows over everything. I don't mind at all, if it grows over your roses and your flowers and your hedges and your rhododendron, and it smothers everything and it grows 10 times faster than everything else. But don't underestimate the healing power of Hedera helix, which is ivy, English ivy. The English people, they know a thing about beauty and aesthetics. So they have old castles, they buy old castles, they leave the Hedera helix just where it is on all the old masonry and the walls, and they like to smell it and it feels good. And if they're crazy like I am, they will cut some off with a pruner and they'll stuff it into their boots, because it makes your feet smell good. It gets rid of any kind of foot fungus. Okay, it's an amazing medicinal plant. So I'm going to make myself an ivy absolute. That's what I'm planning on doing. I also started on pants, sewing myself pants upstairs, and after the pants I'm gonna make myself a sweater to go with the pants. So I'm gonna show it when that is ready. I'm gonna make a video with that. I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna do a fashion show with that. Full body fashion show with belly dancing and all of that. I'm gonna show that. And yeah, again, for the hater, you don't have to watch it. So if you watch it and then complain about it, you're on your own. Okay, that's all I can say to that. You have to complain about the video on how bad I look. Oh, yeah. You have to make fun for hours on end with the other haters, with the Muslims and all of that. You have to complain and complain and complain. I'm talking about Zayn and all of his accounts, viral. I don't know, whatever all of his accounts are. So, Scrappy, Mid-Twit, Ismo, MK Ultra, I don't know if that's I think that's someone else. No. Because that guy actually showed himself, so. But who knows, maybe that is the same person. So. Yeah, now I finally found out what MK Ultra means. Oh God, I had no idea before. Oh, jeez, no. It's actually some kind of governmental, like some kind of psychopathic, governmental, CIA type of group, but undercover, underground, that makes people crazy deliberately. They target certain people and make them crazy. Well, that makes perfect sense now, why I would see an MK Ultra in the chat room. He came there to make me crazy. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. It's fun, it's fun to him to make me crazy. Sad, all of that. Whatever. It is what it is. I'm so lucky that I'm still a child at heart and mind and soul. And it's very sad. I feel sorry for you haters that you traded that inner child for a psychopath. Sad. But it is what it is. Okay. It's much more complex than anyone can possibly think about. Much more complex. Sri Krishnamurti said, compassion is a mystery. And the reason why he said that is because he said that it is a mystery, and what he means by that is that it is actually a mystery in terms of if you ever try to, as a scientist, try to get to the core of it. So, well, he knows that nothing is really a mystery, because if you look at it from the blue god sky perspective, from the Jiddu Krishnamurti perspective, it's not a mystery. He knows, but if he was to tell everyone about all of that stuff, they would just not listen. They wouldn't follow. So he has to meet people where they are. And so, according to a scientist, that would be it's very mysterious, actually. And they will never really get to explore it all, because, again, that word all, that concept of all does not exist. This is all of the Play-Doh, of the clay. Let me see. Silly Sense by Crayola. Okay, so that's all there is that was in there. Maybe there's some crumbs left in there or something, right? But if we would scrape it all out, we can say, now this is really all of it. There's the finality in it. But when you dig into a concept such as compassion, there's no finality, because compassion is part of the infinite cosmos. That's why we would say for a scientist it would be a mystery. Okay. From the Earth's perspective, it's a mystery, not from the sky perspective, because the sky perspective knows that all of this can be explained, and it can be explained indefinitely, infinitely, and there'll be an infinite stream of exploring and finding out. And the scientists, they can follow this endless cyber probing into the infinite cosmos so far, so far as the rockets allow it, or so far into brain science as our technology allows to probe into it. And you don't have to cut me apart for that. No, you can put me into an fMRI, and you would have to also get me out of there again very quickly with an oxygen tank and Pier's Japonica tea to calm me down, because I would freak out in an fMRI. Not as much as I would freak out at Tutankhamun and not Nefertiti, but yeah, I would freak out there too. So, but at least I would come out alive. At Tutankhamun being cut open there in the deepest underground catacombs by the haters, I would not come out alive. Okay? And then they don't have anyone to bully anymore. They'll have to resort to bullying each other. Okay, that's how it goes. Now you can cut all of that open virtually in an fMRI machine. You can see all the different parts of the brain, inside of the brain, the amygdala, the hippocampus, the corpus callosum, which is the scale that balances things out, that says, oh, wait a minute, we are lopsided right now, Nicola is feeling anger, let's give her some endorphins, let's tell her to use the Astronaut to create so that the the, the pituitary gland and the pineal gland can create something better in their factory called brain. They can create some nice endorphins, all kinds of nice endorphins. Even oxytocin comes up when I work with this because I feel compassion for this thing. This has a soul, this has an energy. Yes, you better believe it. Hello, my love, Sandy. Hello, I am your blue astronaut. Yes, I am here to make you feel better and to give you endorphins and to give Nikki Daisy endorphins too, and even to give the haters some endorphins, because we know from the sky perspective they are not feeling good. So I came as a rescue mission. They don't feel good and they suffer way deep down. They suffer a lot. They laugh on the outside, but deep down there's hatred. So much hatred. They feel wronged. They feel like they need to have everything they want, and if they don't, then that makes them mad, right? They don't have gratitude. And that's very, very tragic. A person who doesn't have gratitude suffers horribly. You're a prisoner of pain if you don't have gratitude for anything. And that's why I told that story a while back about that amazing lady who was in a wake coma. And I will bring that story up again and again and again, because if she can make her brain in that physical condition where she can't move, she couldn't even move her eyes for a while. Her eyeballs could not even move that. Her eyes were open. She could feel and hear and see everything, but she could not respond to her mother desperately trying to communicate. And she wanted to say, "Mommy, I hear you." And she could not even respond to her mother. She had this was caused by some kind of illness. And that went on for a long time. I don't know, for like a year or 2 years. This went on. Must have been absolute hell on earth. Okay, but this lady was able, in that state, to find something that she would see on the wall, literally like the fly on the wall. Thank you, Blue God. 3333. Blue God agrees. Okay. Literally like a flower petal somewhere, or the fly on the wall, or some kind of interesting shape in the wallpaper that she would discover, okay, that she hadn't noticed before. She would study that with her eyes. The whole time her brain was not sleeping. She was not sleeping. She was awake in a wake coma, looking at whatever there was in the room. I guess they moved her also around, and they helped her a little bit with this, but must have been hell. But she would develop gratitude for the few things that she was able to see. And she said to herself in her head, "This is wonderful. I am able to feel gratitude for this. I am grateful for these things. I'm grateful to my mother, to whatever, the people in the hospital, that were giving her water to drink, that were feeding her. I guess she had to be fed with tubes or something like this. Feeding tubes. Horrific. And yet she was able to develop gratitude in that state. Guess what happened next? When she started to practice this gratitude, every day she was dedicated on practicing this gratitude for everything she was able to see. The more she felt gratitude, the more she was able to see. The more she was able to see, and the more she was able to feel gratitude for that, the more she was able to actually move her eyeball. Her eyeballs started to move. Then she could move her eyes, she could blink her eyes. Okay, she would see stuff around her. She would be able to turn and move her eyes. And then she would be able to, that was the beginning of communicating with her mother, through her eyes, blinking the eyes, squeezing the eyes closed, open the eyes. And then she would feel infinite gratitude for that, and the more gratitude she felt, the more she was able to use her face. And then she was gaining the muscle strength back in her face. She was able to move her mouth. She was able to eat with her mouth. They could feed her then with a spoon, not with the feeding tubes anymore. And the more she felt, then she felt more and more and more gratitude. And with more and more and more gratitude, and more to experience and to feel and to taste and see and communicate. People take everything for granted. Most people, the vast majority of humans take everything for granted that they have. Paul is losing his hearing. Do you understand how hard that is? For someone to lose their hearing? Do you understand how hard it is for someone who is their life partner to deal with that when the other person talks really, really loud? Do you understand this? I cry every day over that. And I don't want to lose my hearing, so when I listen to videos on the computer, I have it at the minimum volume, because I don't want to lose my hearing. I don't want to spoil my ears in the way of having the volume up high and then getting my ears used to that, and then not being able to hear a lower volume. So I want to speak with low volume, and I want to listen to videos with low volume, so I can keep my ears sensitive and well. But it's very difficult when you live with someone who makes very loud sounds, very loud noises. Whatever he's doing, everything is loud. Clapping, loud talking, loud hollering, and so on. They're hearing aids themselves. They make these screeching sounds that are absolutely abhorrent. And can you imagine how that's like for someone who has Asperger's with extremely heightened senses like myself? So I'm just bringing this up not because I feel sorry for myself about this right now. I feel sorry sometimes, and I cry it out. But I'm saying that because I see that people take everything for granted. Everything. Their hearing, their sense of smell, sense of touch, ability to run across a lawn, across a meadow, their ability to work somewhere and make their own money, be autonomous, not be bound to a wheelchair. You take it all for granted, okay? And it's not granted. It's not granted to you. When you have that, it is a present to you. It's a present. It's not granted. It's not like, some kind of contract where you are entitled to it. No. No. If you have all of that, it's a present to you from the infinite cosmos. If you have mental health, it's a present. Okay? Almost nobody has mental health. And that's why I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you from the higher perspective. I'm just bringing you facts. I'm bringing you truths. I'm bringing you a perspective that you hadn't looked at before. You think people walk on you like a rug. You think you need to join Black Lives Matter and go out on the street and incinerate people's cars or homes or forests. And that comes out of cluster B, psychopathy, mental illness. That's not well. That comes out of entitlement. That comes out of feeling entitled to someone else's wealth. Kanye West, he doesn't feel entitled. He has deep gratitude. Guess what happened? Was that gratitude? With that gratitude comes wealth. He has wealth because of the gratitude. He also has gratitude for the wealth, but he is wealthy because of that mind state of gratitude, deep gratitude. He doesn't take anything for granted. He tries to help make the world a better place. You can't go after him now because he's white, because he's not. So now what? All white people have money and you don't? No. There's a real large percentage of black people and brown people and tan people of many different ethnic groups that have money, a lot of money. Okay. No, this is not a white thing. Okay. You see all the buildings at the horizon? Those are all the white people with money? No. You know how many white people are poor? You know how many white people have been driven into their cars and vans out of their houses because the government is charging too much for property tax? And that tax money is then used for corrupt things, to fill someone's bank account, some corrupt politician. People lose their jobs. They can't afford their apartments anymore. They can't afford their homes anymore. They spend the last penny of their retirement fund. Now what? Now that person has to move into a bus if they're lucky, or into a van if they are somewhat lucky. And some of them move into their cars. Blue God agrees with me. 4444. This is the harsh reality of it. Those are white people living in poverty because the governmental funds that they have paid into with hard work, governmental funds are used by corrupt politicians to pump that money into certain demographics that have never worked. Some of these people have never worked. They get stuffed with the money from old people that are losing their homes. They get stuffed with that money so that they will then feel inclined to vote for that politician. That's how votes are bought, with those people's retirement money. Okay. This is the harsh reality of what's going on right now, and I think it's important for me to talk about it. That does not make the world a better place. Okay, it doesn't. And then these people still feel walked on and stepped on like a rug, because that is your mental state. That has nothing to do with reality anymore. Okay. Or people that will say, now the racist comments on Twitter are coming because Elon Musk took over. No, it's exactly reversed. Okay. Racist comments were there before. Many of these racist comments by people who impersonate white people to make them look bad. I haven't seen any racist comment. I haven't seen any racist comment whatsoever after Elon Musk got Twitter from anyone, neither from white people, nor from those who impostor white people, nor from haters, nor from brown, beige, tan, or black, or whatever color. And again, it doesn't matter what your skin color is. Okay? It does not matter what your skin color is. You are valuable, you're precious. It's a tragedy that you hate yourself. It's a tragedy that the haters hate themselves. It's a real tragedy. I love you. You should love yourself. I love your body. You're precious. Your body is precious. There's no need to be jealous of anyone. If you want to be white, you come back as a white person in your next life. Okay. And you will. But first you come back as a dog or cat. And if you have, particularly those people who have tortured animals, you will come back as that animal that you tortured, as one of those types. Okay. If you have worked in slaughter facility and you have tortured pigs, you will come back as the pig. The guy out there in Canby, California, the pig farmer, you bet he's gonna come back as a female pig. That's what happens. That will be his next lifetime. Female pig put into a gestation crate, just as what he has done to them. He will experience it firsthand. Well, it's horrific. I would prevent him from experiencing this, because whether that is his soul, and he has done it to others or not, I will try my best to prevent that from happening. But karma, unfortunately, karma is very persistent. Karma finds its way. to those people. That's very, very horrible. And there's no way we can save all of them. No way. It's impossible. But I will do the best I can to prevent it from happening. To save all of them, even if they have done that to the very ones they are now in their previous lifetimes. And not all of them have done it in their previous lifetimes. Some of them come as this or that animal in order to experience what it's like to be an animal. They experience that out of curiosity for different reasons. I'm gonna come back as an albino Great Dane in my next life. Yeah. It's not easy. But the people that adopt me will be nice to me. I will come back as a male albino Great Dane like Kenny was. It's going to be nice. And after that, I'm going to come back as a female European Basset Hound. Okay. And I will be used for breeding, and I will be experienced firsthand what that's like. That's nice, the disco light, I like it. It's very pretty. The haters, they really don't know what they're doing. Jesus Christ said that they don't know what they're doing. Okay. They're in a bad mental state. Okay. They're not in a mental state of gratitude. That's why it is so important that you get into that mental state of gratitude. So important. You have no idea how important that is. And that lady that practiced gratitude in a state of awake coma, she's an angel soul. Okay, she came to this earth to experience this and also to bring to you the message of how she healed herself. She literally healed herself with gratitude. And you can heal anything with gratitude. Anything. And you can, there's a guy, I talked about him. He was paralyzed also. He wasn't in a coma, but he was paralyzed from the neck down. Clemens Kubi. And how he healed himself just through mind over matter, just through a determination. When I'm coming out of here, I'm gonna go to Ladakh. I'm gonna make a documentary film in Ladakh. The motivation of this, that was the driving force, and that in itself is also a state of gratitude. Motivation. I have motivation to make this. I couldn't be motivated if I didn't have gratitude. Okay, gratitude is a motivator. Gratitude and driving force and motivation and love, that's all one energy. Okay, we can cultivate that. We can practice that. And it's wonderful. Okay. And you heal yourself. You can even heal yourself from a cluster B mental illness. I believe it. I really believe it. But you have to understand first the utmost importance to heal yourself from that. If you don't understand the utmost importance of healing yourself from the cluster B mental illness, then you will not be willing to do what it takes to heal yourself from that mental illness. But I give you encouragement, and I give you all of my love. I radiate that love out like a sun. I'm the sun of love. And a love sun that just permanently radiates out love. Okay. And it's wonderful, and that energizes me too. Okay, so. And the sun, the actual sun in the sky, is giving us life energy. Okay. So. Yes, so this. I'm an astronaut. I'm the astronaut of love and motivation. That's wonderful. It almost fell. I caught it in the nick of time. Okay, I gotta lean back for this thing, or it will slide off my lap. Okay. And this is the truth, what I said is the truth. Gratitude, love for something, passion for something, like making this astronaut. That heals all wounds. It does. It heals all wounds. It's the truth. And then you don't have to be so fixated anymore on what society says, or about how someone is being regarded in society, how your appearance or someone else's appearance is regarded by society. You put the appearance way on the way backfire. Okay. What matters is love and kindness and being you. Being your inner child, that's what matters. That's what joy is. Okay, so I love you all, Sandy and Elon Musk. Okay, Sandy and I, we love Elon, and I love all beings, including the haters, and all pigs, horses, cows, dogs. The dogs are my favorite, of course. I love all living beings infinitely much. Okay? Take care. Peace and love for you. Sleep well tonight.